Right, folks, I've been asked to give my opinions once again on this Brexit fiasco. And I don't normally like talking about this as such, but it's got to the stage now where it's just a complete fucking joke, isn't it? It's just an absolute joke. You've even got Remainers and Leavers who they don't know what is actually going off. It's really such a mess, and it's made by a mess by complete idiots. They have got, these people in power have got absolutely no idea what they're doing. But they do like to hear their own voices. They do like to don't get me wrong, right? I can't get this bloody camera straight at the moment. Don't get me wrong, right? I know I'm opinionated. I like to voice my opinion and all that, which is fair enough. It's a free country. It's a free European country for the moment. But these people in charge, your Anna Soudbury's, your Nicky Morgans, your Boris Johnsons, your Diane Abbott's, that Lammy, right? What qualifications have they actually got, right, to do this job? Because it amazes me. I mean, Jeremy Corbyn, right, the bloke's, what is he, 70 something? Is he 70? He's never had a bloody job in his life. Now you're saying, oh, hold on there. He's an MP. An MP, right, dressing up as you like is not a job, right? You happen to be in the right place at the right time, saying the right things for people to agree with, right? You're basically a salesman, right? And that's not an insult to salesmen. It's fact. They are trying to sell you their dream, right? And if you agree with their dream, then fair enough. That's what happens. They get in and they get a massive wage. Now you can say it's not that much. What is it? Is it over? It's around £80,000 a year, right? Plus a pension and all the expenses that you can manage to rip off the public. You're going, that's a bit harsh, Blue Van Man. But it's not, it's true, right? They are taking the piss out of us. They are taking a massive wage. They have all of Christmas off. They have all of summer off. They have bloody loads of holiday at the Easter time. You look at the TV when they're having debates. There's nobody ever in the damn place unless it's about stupid pay rises for them or something that concerns nothing to do with them. It's just all publicity show spin, right? You don't need all those politicians sitting in that room because they're idiots. They don't care. They don't care. They don't give a fuck about our bloody Brexit because they're all on that much money now. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So that's my first point, is that the MPs, the ones that are actually standing there and waving the papers about, they haven't got any qualifications to do this. No, what has Anna Soudbury got, right, that makes her qualified to stand up and say that we're all wrong or those that voted to leave are wrong? What qualifications has she got? She's got absolutely nothing. She was a shit journalist, right? And she's an even shitter MP. Lovely. Cup of tea. So that's what I think of the MPs. I don't think they're qualified to do what the public, the majority of the public in the referendum asked. Don't give me that about it's not a majority because 17.4 million voted and 16 whatever voted and so many didn't vote. If you can't be asked to go and vote, that's tough. If you're going to start throwing that these people died and now there are people who can vote, don't throw that to me, because that ain't going to work either. It's that time it's that moment in time that counts, right? That's it. Nothing else. It's that moment in time. You can't say, well, my son would have voted for Remain, but he was only 15 and 340 days at the time. He couldn't, 15 years, whatever the age group was, I don't care, because it doesn't matter at that time. If you're telling me your son was like 5 days too short to vote for it, that ain't my problem. You should have got on the bed more quicker and sorted it. Because that's what it boils down to. It's your fault for not creating the life 5 days earlier. Done. So a referendum is done at that moment in time for the future. You can't keep rewinding. You can't go and get Doctor Who in his TARDIS or her TARDIS and sort it out. No, it ain't happening. So it's a date set in stone in time. And you've got all these idiots. That's probably a bit harsh. You've got all these people, because they believe in this, who are marching. Every so often they're there marching. They're taking to the streets of London. Apparently 1 million people were there. I don't know. Half of them could have been just going down the shops, couldn't they? Half could have been going down the shops, going to the football, going down the pub, whatever. On their way to work. They could have just got caught up in it. So I don't know whether there were 1 million people there, but even if it was 1 million people, it doesn't really say that it's going to beat the 17.4 million. And now you've got this petition. People signing this petition. Right. I personally have got around 6 email addresses. Right. I've got my personal one, I've got my Blue Van Man one, I've got my Blue Van Man one for Twitter, I've got my Blue Van Man one for Instagram. Well, no, it was 2 of them are the same. But I've got other ones as well, right? So there's people out there who are signing this and they're saying, oh, we've got 6 million signatures now. Well, no, not really. Because you've got people from outside the UK signing it. What's that all about? Oh, they're expats. Well, if they're expats, they're not really bothered then, are they? They're not, you know, they don't live here. If the country were that good, they wouldn't have moved away to go to sunny climates or wherever. So that's tough on them. So a petition, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything as such. You can have 10 votes, you can have 10 signatures on there from one person. It doesn't mean anything. I've got 6 or so. The wife's got a couple. The child, they've got 2. It doesn't matter. It doesn't weigh up anything. That might be 6. It could be only 2.5 million. It's not the date in time for a bloody referendum. So once again, it means nothing. Yes, you're angry. Yes, put your toys back in your pram. It's happened. You can't do anything. We can't just keep having referendums every 2 years. And then another thing that winds me up is that you get these celebrities. You've got Gary Lineker making out that we're all idiots because the ones that voted for Leave, they don't understand it. Lineker, what I don't understand is how you are getting like millions of pounds out the TV licence payer for doing an hour's half work, if you're lucky, on a Saturday night in the winter. And then you get to go abroad for the European Championships and the World Cup. That's where we're idiots, because we're paying for your wages. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a Leicester lad, right? I went and seen Lineker and played many a time. I even met him at some kind of home exhibition in Leicester and got his autograph. And it was a great day for me that time. When I must have been what, 13, and I met the great Gary Lineker. It was absolutely brilliant. And when he went to Everton, I was well upset. But he's got to move on. And, you know, the people who should move on and accept the result at the time of this referendum. So, and there's not just Lineker, is there? There's Brand. And that Sandy Toksvik or whatever she did, who just taken over QI. They are nothing. They shouldn't be allowed to try and influence people Because there's a lot of people out there who look up to these celebrities and they think, oh, well, if they say it, it must be all right then. No, it's not all right. Not everything they say is correct. It's wrong. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't be so gullible to fall for these bloody celebrities. It's not on. It's just not on. Leave the politics to the politicians who think they can do it. Celebrities, present your bloody knowledgeable quiz show thing and your Saturday night football. Do that. That's what you get paid for. That's your specialist subject. But what it is now, it is when this Brexit thing, you've got, it's all building up now, and you've got, now at this moment in time, you've got Johnson and Mogg, right? And after so many years, 2.5 years, they are now thinking, right, we better accept Theresa May's deal. You've held the country up. You've held the country up for 2.5 years, 2 years, whatever it is, or for the last year at least, with all these votes and stuff, people saying how rubbish it is. And now all of a sudden you're coming around and you're saying, yeah, we'll have that. Because if we don't take it, we won't have a Brexit. If this deal goes through, we ain't leaving anyway. Because what will happen is, we will lose our say on the table, around the table, and they're still going to screw us over. The European community, the EU, and what we wanted to leave, will make sure that we suffer. If this deal goes through, they will make sure we suffer, because they do not want other countries to leave. They don't want countries to stop funding their gravy train. But what we should be doing is, I mean, all this thing about, they've said, take no deal off the table. What do you mean, take no deal off the table? Taking no deal off the table? No deal is the only deal in chip we have got. What are you doing? Taking away your main bargaining chip by saying we won't have a no deal? What the hell? The Europe are going, well, yeah, that'll do us. We've got nothing to lose now, because whatever happens, they don't. What is it with this? It just amazes me that they just don't seem to get the grasp of, you take no deal off. You're vulnerable. You do what they... oh, truth. We accept this deal, they will screw us. They will screw us for everything. And the politicians won't feel anything of it, because they're on their 80 grand a year, they've got the pension sorted, they'll just wander off and do other things. You'd be like David Miliband, he's sodded off to America, working for some charity on £500,000. What kind of charity gives £500,000 away to a complete knobhead who's never worked in a charity, who was a crap politician? He must have been crap because his brother beat him to be leader of the party, of the Labour Party. That just goes to show, well, perhaps he's not crap. Perhaps he's very astute, man, and he's gone off and earned loads of money, because he's not sitting in here trying to eat a bacon sandwich. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So, what it's boiling down to now is that you're getting pressure from all these kind of people saying it's going to be failing. I mean, you've got youngsters going, you'll see them on Question Time going, oh, you're taking my future away. What do you mean you're taking your future away? You got these youngsters like who you know, can't even wipe their own arse. And you've taken my future away. I'm not taking your future away at all. Your future's not even written yet. You get off your arse, you go out there and you make your own future. You make your own bloody stance in the world. You don't just rely on some faceless pillock in Brussels trying to make everything right for you. Life ain't easy, you know. Life is not easy, and you've got to get out there and you make the best of it you can, right? I am not the sharpest tool in the box, but you get out there and you work and you graft. You don't rely on anybody else, because nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to do anything for you if you don't do it yourselves. So stop saying that you've taken my future away. I have never heard such rubbish in my life. You're taking my future away. You're not taking your future away at all. We've given you a future where you can get off your arse and go and make it yourself. Now, some people won't probably like this, me ranting on about this, but it's the way it is. So that's my take on Europe at the moment. I think we're going to get screwed. I think the politicians are cowards. I think the companies that are up and leaving the place are cowards. Where I work, they've just bought us a new plant. They've just spent a few million on us having a new plant. They're taking it. They're going to take it on, this Brexit, because it's the right thing to do. You take the Brexit and you get on with it. You get out there and you take a challenge. Anything can go wrong. I mean, Germany and France and Italy and all, they're all in recession. They're all on the borderline recession. We've actually got positive growth in this country. We've got things to happen here. We're making this thing happen on our own. All these experts were saying that, well, come the referendum, the pound will drop and this will happen and and the sky will fall on our heads and the roads will open up and there'll be bloody Ghostbusters to be called because the dead will be walking. What load of crap is that? What planet are they on that they think that the world, this country, the world was going to just like implode? I've never heard anything like it. I've never heard such scaremongering in my life. It makes you wonder, these people that are in charge, what real motives have they got? Have they got some kind of thing where they've got so much investment in other countries and that it would screw them over? Are they really putting the country first, or are they putting themselves first? Your country needs you. You don't need other people taking the piss out of us that they're doing in Brussels. We'll still be buying BMWs, Audis and Volkswagens. We'll still be buying oranges and wine and cheese and stuff from other places. But with this Europe thing, with this no deal, we can do other things. And the Europeans want us to fail, not the European people, because if the European people see that we can make this work, they'll want a slice of that cake too. The only people that want us to fail are Juncker and all the other dickheads who run around in that little building thinking they're all important and precious. They're not. They're nothing. The people that really count are the ones that go out and work for the country. The ones that go out there and take on everything that's thrown at them, and they battle through and they fight through and they come home to the families and they provide for the family. They're the ones that count, not all these wearing suits and all that fancy kissing and... Because as soon as, I tell you what, right, they're all there talking to Theresa May, doing this and that, kissing her on the cheek and, oh yeah, lovely, lovely. And as soon as she's turned her back, they got the fucking knives out, you stupid bitch. They don't care. They don't care about us. The only people that care should be the British people. The ones with the history of this place. And the ones that, tell you what, the ones that care, the ones that do come here to work, right? I've got no problem with the freed movement as long as you come here to benefit the country and not just take the country for what it can offer in its benefit system. The ones that come here to work, I've actually got no problem with. The ones that can make a difference and the ones that can improve it. The ones that I don't want are the ones that think we owe them something. We don't owe anybody anything. Yeah, we need to look after our elderly, disabled and the sick. I'm not saying that. But what we should be doing is looking to improve the country. Before you come here, you should have a certain criteria that you get into the country. 1, can you speak English? 2, have you got the skills to do the job that you want to do? It's got to be, you know, I cannot honestly see the problem with taking control of your borders and saying who can and who can't come in. So that's how I'll leave that then, folks. That's my 20-minute rant on Brexit. A lot of you have been asking for it. I think we're strong enough to stand on our own. I don't think we need Europe. And I think Europe needs us more than we need them in a way. You know, I'm not saying that everything's going to be rosy. But I honestly believe if this, what we should have done is had to set a deadline of 6 months ago for this to be sorted. We shouldn't be still arguing about this and looking for extensions and revoking Article 50. What's all that about, revoking? Waving a white flag? We don't do that. We don't wave white flags. We take things on at full face. We take it on. So, Johnson and Mogg. What's happened, folks? Have they been bought? I don't know. Makes you wonder. Right, folks. Laters.